Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. This is it, the very first time the entire video game industry with the best context. We're not going to leave anyone behind. Welcome everyone to March 1982. We last played Space Raiders for the TRS-80 color computer, and let's see what our next game is. Our next one's also Space Raiders, a different Space Raiders for the Apple II. This one's by United Software of America. Let's take a look at the box for Space Raiders. This one almost flew under the radar. This is technically released in 1981. The reason we missed it is we just read the latest issue of Electronic Games, and they said that the closest game to Star Raiders that you couldn't play if you didn't have an Atari home computer was Space Raiders on the Apple II. I found out that the Space Raiders I was ready to play was in 1983 by a General Computer Consortium. And this one is a totally different game. This one is awesome. So I'm really excited to show you Space Raiders, not to be confused with the other Space Raiders on the Apple II, and not to be confused with the other Space Raiders on the Coco we just played last episode. Lots of Space Raiders. So here you go. This is by Paul Ludus. Way to go, Paul. The United Software of America. It requires 48K on your Apple II, ultra fast action, incredible high resolution graphics, and yes, joystick on your Apple for $30. What a deal. It does look like that. Possibly it was. Let's flip it over on the back. Oh, wow. Lots of info. The tiniest font ever. Your mission begins. You'll be given a galactic map of the Empire showing the number of aliens indicated by an A, and star bases indicated by an asterisk. Two vertical lines indicate your present position. You can move on from one sector to another via the I, M, J, K keys. And we've seen that control scheme before. To move up, down, left, and right respectively. Hit the S key to move through hyperspace to the selected sector. And I don't think we need to read too much, but that's a lot on the back, if there really was the back of the box, because we do have the manual. Let's see what other artwork we have for Space Raiders. There's the advertisement flyer. There it is down the center. $30. This game is so good for $30. We've seen some other ones on the computer that don't even come close to this. And this is like Star Raiders, if you're a fan of that on the Atari home computer. And there it is, the 5 1/4 floppy disk. An actual scan, so we're technically in 1981 right now, but couldn't leave this one behind. Let's take a look at the manual for Space Raiders. Yeah, it looks like the exact... it is the same. It's the manual cover. Good call, Chiptune. Yeah, it is just the manual. There you go. How do we play this? The control is I, J, K, and M to move around, and we've seen this on, if you look down at your keyboard if you got one, it's interesting. It's a little bit different than our usual control scheme, but better than others. After you destroy all the aliens within a sector, the radar display will indicate the position of a starbase, if one exists. You must destroy all enemy aliens within the sector before you can dock with the starbase. When you need more energy, or if your weapons or engines are destroyed, docking into starbase will replenish your systems. To pause, hit the slash on the command key. When you're in the command screen, you'll be suspended animation. No energy will be used. You can return to the galactic map at any time by pressing the G key, and return to the sector by pressing the S key. And these controls are actually even more slimmed down than in Star Raiders on Atari. So they give you some hints to play too, as if we're playing on an Atari home computer game. Yeah, right? Oh, 82. I'm not sure. Good question. But really excited for this one. Let's pop in and play some Space Raiders on your Apple II at some point in March. Actually, at some point in 1981. So ignore the date. We'll correct it later. Yes. Oh, that's right. And use control. There was a video I just watched by the 8-bit guy that he did a history of the cursor keys. Very cool. All right, so here we go. We want to play Space Raiders for the Apple II. There's a lot of different control schemes we've seen. We've already seen games that use the WSAD to move around, not the cursor keys, but to control a game. And at this point, I'm not surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. We've seen every kind of control using the cursor keys or not. Numpad, the enter, slash, A and Z, M and N. It's all over the place. Joystick. Yes, we do want to play with the joystick. Center the joystick and press return. We are centered. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Right into the action. Enter your name. We'll put in Chrono. Oh, they even have the great sound effects for the Apple II. Oh, nice. And the hyper jump animation. Wow, that's pretty good. Sorry, honey, I can't hear you over the hyperspace animation. Okay, we're in. I, J, K. There it is. We got it. Okay, so we go to the different places. Each one is displaying if it has a base or aliens. And you see they even have the key down in the bottom corner. Where we are located, what galaxy and what sector we're in, how much energy we have, and the star date. And then if we want, we can push the slash, and it gives us even more information. F to fire weapons, galaxy scan, sector scan, shields on and off. And then how we move around. So it's so helpful, giving you all the commands in the middle of the game. All right, so let's go to this one. Has 2 aliens and a base. We're ready. Oh, shields first. All right, let's go. Prepare for the hyper jump. And bear in mind, this is the year before. This is one we should have seen, but we missed it, and I don't want to miss this one. Yes. Okay, we're in. Look at this. Atari. Apple joystick plugged in. I have shields. Oh, turn those shields on. And let's press forward. To move faster, you move the numbers to go for faster and faster speed. So right now I'm at 7. Warp 7. Enemies come up. Get them in the sights. Look at that. So cool. In the top right, there's a really tiny radar. And so I'm moving the joystick to get the next enemies in sight. Got him. Okay, so no more aliens. Then we move on to the base. Just dock with this base. Nice and easy. Starbase contact established. Energy transfer underway. With the most generic 80s computer sounds. Okay, we're in. And then we just go back to... actually, how do we warp? Let me see. Go back to the sector. Galaxy scan? Maybe it's G? There we go. And there we cleared the sector out. And so what you do is you make your way around. Let's try another one with 3. Let's do this one with 2 aliens, because we got plenty of energy. Let's go. Prepare for hyper jump. Now, if you wanted to compare this to Star Raiders on Atari home computer, it has a little slightly watered down presentation of things you can do, but for the most part, this is really, really good. The sound for it. All right, let's go warp 7. Get in there. Oh yeah, man, that explosion's so cool. It's like a quick flash. There we go, and we got them, and they're all gone. They're all gone. Easy peasy. And there you go. You move from sector to sector, working your way around. So much fun to play. Yeah, and I would say if you had the Apple II, this would be a must-play for the Apple II. That is so good. All right, so now this is 1981, but I'm still going to say this is one of the best games you could play. 4 stars, maybe even 4.5 for this. Because if it was 1981, yes, this was too good to pass up. I'm already raving about Star Raiders anyway on Atari. So also 4.5 stars for Space Raiders for the Apple II. So good. All right, so now let's go back to 1982. Our next game is on the Atari home computer, and this is Stellar Shuttle.
Spanish, German, French, Italian.
Oh, really? You can switch back and forth. Yeah, the one we were on was the high-res version, but cool that you have the option for it. All right, so this is Stellar Shuttle. Let's take a look at Stellar Shuttle, starting with the box. Stellar Shuttle by Broderbund. Flip it over the back, and this one is, at least the cassette version of the box, the planet Tam of the Galaxy of Angels has slowly drifted into an asteroid belt, making it uninhabitable. You've been sent by the space Bund, Broderbund, to rescue Tamian settlers from their bombarded planet. You'll need to maneuver your shuttlecraft down through the asteroids to the narrow landing wells, load your refugees, and head back up to the mothership. Unfortunately, among the many asteroids which have blasted into Tam's surface were several dragon eggs, which have since hatched. The dragons seem to have developed a taste for... oh, man. So it's got arcade-style game, 4 different levels of play, joystick controlled, it better on the Atari, and requires 16K only. Okay, so I really don't have super high hopes for needing 16K. There it is, the cassette that we'll be using. If you had the cassette version, we'll be playing on the disc. I think the cassette is the only one we have the example of. Yeah, that's all we got. But we do have the manual. for Stellar Shuttle. How do you begin? You just press start on the computer or in your Atari 800. Objective is guide the shuttlecraft down to the surface, rescue the refugees, return them safely to the mothership, so possibly a lunar rescue variant. On the ascent, you press the joystick button will fire blasters, clear a path through the asteroids. A sustained press will increase your speed. This may be necessary from time to time to steer clear of speeding asteroids and wayward ships. And work your way up to the top. Love it. The simplicity. It's so good. All right, we just have an alternate version, so here we go. Let's pop it and play some Stellar Shuttle. By Broderbund at some point in March 1982. By Matt Rudder. Way to go, Matt. Yeah, right into the action. Those arcade-style computer games, everyone that plays only consoles is missing out. There's so many good ones on the computer. It does. It did look a little bit like them. All right, here we go. So it has an attract... No, it's not really a track mode. It's an opening title screen that's playing out. So let's push start, and we're in. So using my red button on the VCS. Yep, it's the only one to use. Let's go nearby. My lunar lander is not on par tonight. I went into... We're going in too fast. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. There we go. Soft landing. Pick them up. And then you can... Oh, you can speed it. Yep. You can tap it to fire or hold it down to speed up. This plays really well. We played a lot of lunar rescue variants. Okay, here we go. Let's move to the side. Nice and easy. No, too fast again. It actually plays really, really good. It's me that's messing this up. All right, let's push start again and go. It goes right into the action. I love it. Yeah, I'm just not holding the button down long enough. I think I need to land in a certain spot. Oh, that's too funny. So watch this. Whenever you leave the craft, it has two port bays that open. You can smash into the port bay. So as soon as they open up, you can just ram yourself into the side. Great. All right, so let's do it for real. Going down to the bottom. Nice and easy. Oh, what? You can't fire thrusters on the landing? Oh, wait, it's not a landing pad. I gotcha. The landing pad is down here. I see. Okay, so I really wasn't messing up. I just didn't land in the right spot. And we get points for blowing things up like it's asteroids. Let's speed up a little bit. Just barely missed the UFO. And then nice and easy, make your way to the top. There we go. Did that one again. As soon as the pod bay doors open, got to be easy on the left and right. Yeah, this is great. This feels like I'm playing an early Atari 5200 game with how well it's responding to the joystick. It's great. And the nice touch that you can speed up just a tad as you work your way up and then push the button for firing. It's great. But you do got to remember, leave the pod bay doors open, Hal, and then go down after that. And these are the kind of games that, if they play this well, I want to get past this screen to see if there's anything next. If they change up the landscape, they usually increase speed and difficulty, little things like that. But I want to see if they change anything up with the game itself. Go, go, go! Yeah, this is incredible. 16K of RAM, was not expecting this. Nice and easy. Yeah, there we go. That was a really cheap shot. All right, that's excellent. Stellar Shuttle is a pleasant surprise. I'd say above average. Lots of fun. Another big trope for the channel is if a game makes me want to play later or more than we just played for the live stream, then it's going to be above average. It also depends on the year we're in. But in 1982, I'd still say above average for Stellar Shuttle. This is a great title. Well, they have 3.5 stars for Stellar Shuttle. Nice. Let's press forward and see our next game. We're next going from one home computer to the other. This is the Commodore VIC-20, and this is Subchase. This one has no box, just a couple screenshots, so we'll just pop in and play some Subchase. At some point in March 1982 by Roger L. Merritt. Way to go, Roger. Published by UMI. Let's go. Subchase. Got some nice sub-sonar sounds. I'm guessing I had to use joystick isn't responding yet, so let's try enter. Okay, enter works. And joystick now works. Cool. So it does do joystick control. I'm at the very top of the screen, controlling the battleship, dropping depth charges, and it is pretty simple. Just move left and right, and then use the button on your joystick and fire. Oh, there we go. This is great. Yeah, a sub game, very much arcade style. Frame rate's great, plays good. It actually feels like I'm controlling the ship, like a little bit slower on the turn back and forth, having to dodge their attacks. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is a simple concept. Nice atomic explosion when you die as the ship. Very cool. All right, there you go. There's Sub Chase. Yeah, that's a great time for 1982. I'd give it I average 3 stars. Perfect game to play in 1982. Check out some Sub Chase. It's good for a few minutes of some fun. Let's press forward and see our next game. We're next back on the Apple II. This is Super Taxman 2. If you saw the episode with Taxman, it was a really good maze variant or Pac-Man style game for the Apple II in last year, 1981. So let's see what Super Taxman 2 is like, starting with the box. This is by HAL Labs, but not the HAL you're thinking, HAL Labs. Totally different company. Looks like Brian Fitzgerald did this one. Way to go, Brian. And this is the kind of box whenever I think of computer box covers, computer game box covers in the 80s, this is what I think of. This is like something that someone made themselves, didn't hire anybody else. That's what I picture whenever I think of a computer box cover in the early 80s. The greatest maze game improved, so it's supposed to be even better. Okay, let's flip it over on the back. If you played Taxman, then you know a good Super Taxman 2 must be. If not, get ready for the same great graphics that Soft Talk called very smooth, fast-moving, excellent, expert, pleasing response. All this with great new mazes, fruit, cartoons, and music. Has a new pause feature, select skill level, and you select your own keys. That is an improvement. What other artwork do we have for Super Taxman 2? We got something from the HAL Labs newsletter, if this was the real newsletter. The HAL Labs Gizmo is a device that allows you to take advantage of fast speed of Atari-style switching joysticks at a reasonable price, $15. And it has... Is this a real newsletter? See, again, it looks like a homemade one. Yes, and we do have some other companies out there having professionally done front of boxes. The companies that can shell out more of the marketing. Yeah, definitely. And then we have some instructions, too. Taxman. It may not be the right thing to do, but it's your job. The citizens of Tanstaffel are still rioting in the streets. As the Taxman, it's your job to stop them and get their money. The people no longer believe in government promises. They've lost faith in the idea of collectivism. And they won't even pay you for their own suppression. Your mission is to get all the money dots and collect government bonuses before the feds take them back. Be careful to avoid the violent citizens. If you pass through a flashing IRS center, you gain a temporary arrest warrant. Beware, the citizens are soon out on bail, and before long the rebels refuse to go to jail at all. Good luck. All of Transtaffel needs you, even if they don't know it. I don't know if it is or not. Yeah, Transtaffel, that's a big giveaway. So normal Taxman keys are, look at those keys, left and right, because that's what the Apple II had. It only had left and right cursor keys, and then it has the semicolon for up and slash for down. So you have the 2 fingers on the right, 2 hands on the left, and then also your own keys for the Atari joystick. Yes, use the demo for help, and if you need to, you can call 714-359-8480. Quick, someone call that number now, and see if we can get help from HAL Labs at this moment. All right, let's pop in the Apple II. Super Taxman 2, released at some point in March 1982. That's got to be part of the crack, right? They call me the artist? Or maybe is the developer? Maybe we'll never know. Do we want black and white or color? We want color. Normal or customized keyboard? Customized. It's so cool when they ask you to do this. I want to do my movements like this. This, and up and down. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, HAL Labs, for letting us customize the controls. Looks very similar opening as Taxman. Let's see what Brian Fitzgerald did to change it up. I know for one thing, this is a 5-player game, but not what you think. Not at the same time. So space bar to play, H for help. Oh, we get music. Oh, it sounds like jazz, but I can't pin it yet. If it's public domain, please let me know. We can add it to the Chronologically Gaming public domain music bingo. Nice, and there he is, Taxman. When we played this in 1981, I gave it 4 stars. A very excellent Pac-Man variant on the home computer. Look at this. Looks so good. Is that what it is when I'm 64? Okay, so it's going into its own mode. I want to do spacebar. So what do we want? Rank, which is 2 ways you can play the game. Rank or cartoon. Cartoon just shows the cutscenes because this game has cutscenes just like Pac-Man. So I'll give you an example. If I do cartoon, it asks which one. There's 5 different cartoon numbers, and we can just watch the cutscenes. So you don't have to play the game. Look, you can watch all the cutscenes of Taxman. There he is. He drops the tax. And then that's all it is. You just can watch the cartoons. A very nice touch. And let's go for rank, which is the best we want. Let's go for rank 2, which won't be super crazy hard. But here it is. 5 players can play the game. But it's not what you think. It's just alternating play. But I wonder if they did that just so they could boast, we got a 5-player game for the Apple II. That's not one of those bowling games or other alternate player games. Oh, really? Super Taxman 2 or the first Taxman? I love them both. All right, let's just do 1 player. It doesn't matter. They're alternate play. Press return to play or spacebar to return to the demo. Let's go. Let's see if it remembered my custom controls. Yes. Oh, that's great. The original Taxman had them set in place for the controls, and it still works, especially if you have an Apple II computer. But now, this is great. Any mistakes that are made right now is because I just messed up. What are the enemies supposed to be turning into? We are having to use a little bit of imagination because we understand what Taxman's supposed to look like. He looks exactly like Pac-Man. But the other enemies, are those scales for taxes or something part of the IRS maybe? The other part I loved about it was the artificial intelligence, like that. The enemies don't just wander around aimlessly. They actually have an agenda, move different ways, will hone in on you. It's done very, very well. Maybe that's what it is. Rogue spreadsheet tables. Love it. Is this the reason why we've already seen how many I know this is called Taxman, but it's exactly like Pac-Man. Why did we get the tax avoiders game? Is it because we had a lot of games that were based on tax or IRS style video games? Why was that a thing? Did Taxman start it all? Now, if I remember correctly, oh, we get the cutscene after the first round. There you go. I should have picked a different one to see, because there's 5 different ones when you play the game. Really nice touch. The challenge stage. Extra man awarded on completion. Oh, you can skip the music, too. Nice. And it has a different maze. So cool. All right, let's go. So this is the super fast mode. Yeah. Now, if we can get through the whole thing without dying, then we get a bonus. So, really cool. What is that, a panda down at the bottom? Oh, I missed it because I warped to the bottom. Okay, let's go this way. Oh, this is a great touch. That's why they made Tax Avoiders. The Hidden Story by L. Curtis B. And they let you skip it. That's so cool. See, even back in 1982, they knew about skipping cutscenes. Why don't they do that nowadays? I'm gonna point out as many tropes in video games as I can, that if they figured it out a long time ago, and we still have problems with games nowadays, you gotta fix it. They already fixed it a long time ago. Yeah, I love the high speed. That's so fun. So this game is not just the maze game variant like Pac-Man, it also is changing up what Pac-Man is. Very great game to play. I'd say of all the games we've played to this point, I'm giving 4 stars for Super Taxman 2. Excellent title to play in 1982. All right, so with that, let's press forward and see our next game. Where are we going now? We're still on the Apple II, and this is Swashbuckler. Let's check out Swashbuckler, starting with the box. This is from Datamost, the high-res sword fighting game. Return with us now to those exciting years on the Spanish Main, when pirate ships flew the skull and crossbones and struck fear to the hearts of everyone who put to sea. You're aboard the wickedest pirate ship ever to sail the 7 seas and only have the cold steel of your silver sword. Make your sword swing, slash, and stab, so you can bloodthirsty pirate foes. What a game! What a way to prove who's the best swordsman in the world. $35 for your Apple II. At least it says there, and Datamost didn't really do anything on the back of the box. Let's take a look at any other art we have for Swashbuckler. This one looks awesome. A sword fighting game? So this one's by Paul Stevenson. Way to go, Paul. There's the 5 1/4 floppy disk, and another example of it. We don't really get 2 examples of the disc, but I'll take it. And we also have the manual for Swashbuckler. Looks like the same. And they take the same from the manual in the box again. There we go. Swashbuckler is simple to play at first. Then your skill as a super swordsman and your reaction time become more and more important if you hope to win out. To begin play, simply insert the disc. When it's finished loading, press spacebar. You'll meet the first pirate who's out to test your mettle. If you dispatch him, another pirate attacks to you from behind. After that, you'll find yourself fighting 2 at once with sudden, unexpected visits from a killer rat. Or perhaps a snake, so not just sword fighting, I guess. But a pirate game. Awesome. When you win 20 duels, new and even more terrible pirates appear. When you reach 25 successful, you're given another life. And you'll need it. From below decks to topside, battles are never ending, but with skill and strategy, you can best the cutthroats. Watch out, though. They fight back skillfully and can dispatch you, too. Oh, here's the keys. ASD. So I'm looking at the keyboard now, and just have to imagine you're playing on an Apple II as well. Move left, spin around, and move right is ASD. And then the swordsmanship is IJKL and M. Okay, so that's how you use your sword on your opponent. That's parry, thrust, guard, and lunge. And M is for low parry. I guess that's how you take care of the rats and snakes. There's probably never been an action game as exciting or as interesting as Swashbuckler, or with such terrific high-res graphic animation. It's terrific fun to play at every level and takes quick reaction and strategy to overcome the pirate scum of the 7 seas. Good luck and watch your back. That looks pretty good. All right, we got just an alternate version of it. Here we go. This is Swashbuckler, released at some point in March 1982 for your Apple II. I'm already expecting high hopes, at least what they say the game is. Swashbuckler is loading. Yeah, right? The description sounds great. Oh, we got a splash screen too? Oh man, those Apple II splash screens. It just keeps me wanting to play a Sierra adventure game, actually. The high-res graphics. All right, so spacebar to start. I got to remember the controls. ASD, IJK, L, and M. So that means, I guess, no Apple joystick control. And are we going to need to fast forward? Oh, we're in. Wow, okay, I'm in. So here's my movement, left and right. And then to turn around, I have a turnaround key. So I'm just moving left and right. And then let's try my sword out. Yes. Parry. Parry. Thrust. Thrust. Oh, nice. Oh, I'm going to tear this guy up. I know the controls now, buddy. Looks like that's his guard. And you beat up thugs in the beginning of the game. But wow, so cool. So turn around. Oh, yeah, this is great. Now, just bear in mind, if we didn't have the manual or didn't have instructions, this would be so difficult to figure out, just mashing different keys. But now that we have an idea what it is, I'm just going to stab my way to victory. And it leaves the... Oh, I was going to say, it leaves the bodies on the ground. Let's see if we can get this guy. And you can move back, get away from him, and then see if we can get an attack in. Yes, there we go. So turn around, go for the next guy. Look at the size of the enemies, and it is taking place from the side view. There is no bar for energy, like a fighting game, because, oh, I got them 2 in a row, nice. Because it's essentially you just beat up in one sword thrust. If you can get your sword through them, they're out. Yeah. So satisfying, though. Okay, so I was expecting one of two things. Either this game was going to look really good, but play terribly, or it was going to be very simple, not look very good, and it was going to be something easy to pick up and play. This one's actually hitting both. The controls that they explained work great. All I'm doing is knocking the thrust part out, so I don't have to do as much parrying, and there's no rats yet. No rats yet. Got him. Oh, there's one. Get him. Yes. Oh yeah, this is so much fun. And it gives me vibes of Prince of Persia, which we're not going to see until 1989. Of course, that uses the rotoscoping, but, I mean, come on. This looks really good. Or really close to Karateka, actually. Oh, no! He got me. This means I use my other life, but I don't know the indication of where it is. Yeah, the rat and the snake we both saw. And the rat and the snake remind me of Karate Champ, like the bonus modes where they throw different things at you. No, do you get me? Oh man, it's that nail on the end of the club. I gotta stay further back. There we go. Nice. Okay, another title. I want to keep going. I want to see what's next and beat up as many people as I can. Make them taste cold steel. All right, there you go. So that is Swashbuckler. That's fantastic. It's so much fun to play. It even has the arcade style where the game begins, you hit spacebar, and then you're in. That's it. The only story or lore is a little bit on the box, and that's it. So I say still, for every game we've seen up to this point, 4 stars. Swashbuckler is so good. The only reason I wouldn't say it's the best game you could play at the time is because the content doesn't have anything past this, and the game controls are still keyboard, not joystick, so it could be improved to be something even better than that. Like I think of Bilestoad that we played, the top-down fighting game, very similar to Warlords in the arcade. That one had a lot more going for it. The radar on the side had many elements that we hadn't seen before. So this one, I'd say the biggest thing it's got going for it is that side view. Something's up with that. People need to make more games where you see yourself from that perspective fighting. Oh, Nihog. I've never heard of that one. A newer game? Not something from the 80s, I guess? I'm stuck in the 80s, so that's I don't know anything about your time. All right, with that, let's press forward and see our next game. Yeah, newer. All right, welcome to Tank Arkade for the TRS-80. The latest by Avalon Hill of their arcade series. Let's take a look at the box for Tank Arkade. There we go. This is what we talk about when we say a professionally made box front. They have even the style. As we flip it over in the back, this is for all the different models. Computer simulation game, okay. It says 2 games in 1. Robot Tank is the solitaire option, and then Tank Battle is the 2-player option. Tank Arkade is a real-time game requiring you to make quick decisions. Both tanks move simultaneously, firing shells on their opponent or dodging incoming enemy fire. It's the arcade version or a top-down tank game. All right, here we go. What else we got for Tank Arkade? We have some of the instructions, but I think we got the manual inside, and there's our cassette. Which, by the way, if anyone is like a stickler for every single video game, there's so many computers out there that if you look on the left, this came in lots of variations. Tank Arkade was on VIC-20, Commodore PET, and so forth. If I can get the game easily, I'll just play it on the few variations that I can, or the different ports it was made on. I definitely want to get the original that it was made originally developed for, but there are some games later on that have so many ports. They're 20. I've seen the most is one game pointed to 20 different home computers. So there is no way I'm going to be playing every single port of a game. I like to see the ports, though, because at this point, you have to do everything from scratch. And usually they're totally different games whenever you play them on different home computers. So I'm going to do the best I can, but later on, no, we will not be able to play every single port of the home computer game. Yeah, there is no Ohio Scientific. One of the other reasons I found out is if a game is exclusive for that system, then we will play it. But yeah, no Ohio Scientific. We can get it on mostly everything else. Good shout out, though, for all the Ohio Scientific fans out there. All right, here's the manual for Tank Arkade. It is Tank. We're going to play the tank like in the arcade back in the 70s. So They have a funny spelling for it, but it's the same idea. Tank Battle is the 2-player game. 1 player is the robot tank where the computer controls it, and you move around. You can see they're going to tell us what the controls are. Hey, with the Atari joystick. I think this one may be for the Atari manual. Oh, no, it has the other versions too. But I know on the Atari one, you can plug in the joystick. I don't think we need controls. Yeah, there's no... Yeah, there's loading instructions. We don't need them. Let's go. Let's play some Tank Arcade. Released at some point in March 1982. The TRS-80. Yes, we haven't typed a command in a long time. Are we really playing any games on the computer? You can't play a game on the computer unless you put in a command, right? Tank Arc, let's go. I want to see if this uses the joystick. I don't think it would. So there you go, Avalon Hill Company, Tank Arcade. First commander to score 9 hits wins. E, N, and D keys together abort the game. Who mashed those whenever you got frustrated with your friend? Press space to continue after reading the instructions. Tank controls. Oh, so it is all keyboard. It won't have joysticks, but you control the left tank with up arrow, down arrow, 1 and Q. So everyone look down at your TRS-80 keyboard, and then the right tank is brake, clear, right arrow, and left. Wait a second, what? That's right, because on the TRS-80, the arrows are in 2 different places. So if you've seen the original TRS-80 or the Model 1 for sure, I'm not sure if the Model 3 did they separate the cursor keys too? But it's just funny to see it now. You think that you and your friend are going to have to mash your fingers into one cursor key area. All right, how many players? Let's do a 2-player game so that no one comes after me yet. But here it is. This is Tank Arcade. Looks very much like the top-down shooter. So this is me turning on one side and then turning on the other. So that's turning there and then... Oh, okay, so they mapped my cursor keys all in the same spot, which is not helpful. But if we do this side, it was 1. There we go. And then to shoot... 2 and 3. There it is. Okay, so we'll do this way and move forward and shoot. There we go. To tell you the truth, the graphics remind me as if we were playing this on the RCA Studio 2, like a tank clone on the RCA Studio 2, maybe with a little higher resolution, because the RCA Studio 2, oh man, that's bare bones. But it's so cool. You can play it as a top-down tank game. It also gives me vibes of it's the original Combat on Atari 2600. So if you had 2 people, though, at the time, this would still be an enjoyable, fun game. So I'd say for Tank Arcade, it really looks like you're playing on Atari. I'm going to say 3 stars. Perfectly average for 1982. And a good time if you have 2 people that want to play. Oh, 128 by 64? Yeah. I think the RCA Studio 2 was only 64 by... I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, way lower resolution. All right, so there's Tank Arcade for the TRS-80. Our next game is the Tank Arcade on the Atari home computer. Let's see, because this one's totally different. The box is identical, because I think it's for all of them. If you look in the front, this is the Atari VIC-20, the PET, and TRS-80 models 1 and 3. So it's all the same box, depending on whatever, because you can just plug in the same tape. Flip it over on the back. Any other different artwork we have for Tank Arcade? We have the advertisement. Oh, it says Commodore 64 on here, though. Commodore 64 is not released yet. We will see it soon, though, this year. Don't hold your breath. Here we go. We have the manual for Tank Arcade. Is it the same one? Yes. Oh, it's just piece of cake. It's the same idea. As we said before, if you've played a combat or tank style game, then you know how it works. All right, let's see what Tank Arcade's like on the Atari home computer, released sometime in March 1982. We doing disc? Yes. The auto load. I'm going to go a little bit faster through this part. Oh, I missed it. Go back. We fast forwarded too quick. Let's do it again. You get zealous because we're not in 1982. We don't want to. I did it again. Okay, we'll just wait. The fast forward is too powerful. I really enjoy how we have different games on different computers, and they're the same title by the same company. Sometimes the same, well, not always the same developer, but it keeps everything fresh. It's not the way you port video games nowadays. You had to go from the ground up. There we go, Robot Tank. Oh, that was the first game mode. Object of the game is to blow up as many robot tanks as you can before they blow you up. Each robot tank must be blown up within 2 minutes. Your tank is controlled by a joystick plugged into the first jack. The Atari VCS joystick. How many hits does it take to blow up your tank? Let's say 2, I guess. All right, here we go. Totally different presentation. Does not look like... Oh no, go! You already got me. So this is the game mode where... Yeah, I'll play again. Where you're playing against a robot tank. We had that option also for the TRS-80. But you can see this looks totally different. And in fact, this was the picture that I think that was in the back of the manual. But let's see, can we blow through walls? Oh yeah, there we go, nice. So this is not playing like we were playing on the TRS-80 at all. Wait, the other robot tank cannot shoot through walls. Their bullets are oh wait, they were ricocheting off. Oh my gosh, he figured out how to break... Oh man, he's too smart. But notice that every time we play, it's loading a new map, a destructible environment, and the controls are not actually using tank controls. They're absolute controls. I'm just doing terrible against the computer. Okay, I'm ready for you now, buddy. Come here. What? Why didn't he die after 2 hits? Is it not fair? I have to shoot him more than twice? Alright, gotta think of a better strategy this time. This actually makes me think, are we even playing Tank Arcade? Is this the same game? Or did we load a different one? The tanks look completely different. It doesn't feel like we're playing on the Atari 2600. Or the RCA Studio 2. It works all right with the controls. Oh, I can curve shots. Ah, I see. Go, go, go. How many shots did you take? Yes! 1 victory, finally. So there you go. That's one of the game options you could do for Tank Arcade on the Atari home computer. I think this one would be the better option, considering everything we've seen to this point. I say above average for Tank Arcade. 3.5 stars. I like it. Yeah, much better, and actually plays better. And you got the Atari VCS joystick. Love it. All right, so with that, let's press forward and see our next game.
Here are the controls.
We're next going back to the VIC-20. This is Target Command. And they just showed Pac-Man on there. What's better than Pac-Man? The Commodore VIC-20? Because it's a computer.
Well, here's a little additional piece of information. The VIC-20 also plays games.
Oh, the VIC-20 also plays games.
Mere child's play for a true computer.
Almost every game they've shown... Oh, well, that's not a game. But everything they showed on that commercial, we've checked out here. We have no box for Target Command, just a few screenshots. So let's pop into play some Target Command, released at some point in March 1982 by Cliff Dudzik. Way to go, Cliff. Published by Computer Mat. No! Every time we do this, it is possible crash, possibly not. The Commodore VIC-20 is turning into what the Commodore 64 is going to do to us. I hope not, but you know. Load up. Oh my gosh! See, every time I've tried this in demo before the live stream, everything worked. Every time we do the live stream, the games that want to crash, oh, they'll crash all right. All right, let's try again. We won't fast forward through the tape loading, but I think this game takes a long time to load. Everyone get your coffee. Now I'm just tempted to go... Oh, yeah, I'm tempted to do it now. Let's go. Yes! Target Command by Cliff Dudzik. Okay, so now we shouldn't mess anything up. proof that even though the game ends and crashes from the beginning, it still may run. So if you've played, if you checked out the channel and we played some computer games and the games didn't load correctly and they crashed, just like you saw earlier, there's a chance that the game just didn't want to run that day. All right, Earth is in a fix. Aliens from an unknown galaxy are flying over cities and bombarding them with atomic missiles. Is it Missile Command? It's up to you and the XQ-3 laser to save Earth. The object of the game is to shoot down as many missiles as you can. Do this, move the target sight, and the missiles on top of the laser target sight is moved by holding down A and Z or the cursor keys. That's bizarre. All right. Oh, there we go. So they give us an example. A and Z to go up and down, and the cursor keys. There it is. The cursor keys on the VIC-20. Spacebar fires laser directly toward the target sight, and it explodes. Gosh, so much information. When a missile is destroyed, vaporized, and disappears, you have 6 bases that contain 2 minutes of ammunition. If you lose a base, ammunition within is also lost as the game progresses. A base containing less ammunition. More info. And there are 10 skill levels, easy and expert. 0 through 4, 5 through 9. On level 0, targets can be moved down near the bases. Levels 1 through 4, sight can't be moved. 5 and 9 are the same, except slower response. Even more info. Points are awarded for each one. Bonus points. Got it if you want to hit 0. High score, run, stop, and restore to simultaneously. Type poke 826,0. Hit return and rerun the program. For all the developers out there, you know what that one means. To load the game, type load and hit return. Okay, load. But that's not all. Please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash. Yes! It did not crash. Woohoo! All right, well, let's do skill level 1. And put the joystick away. It's time to play. Okay, so it is Missile Command. The controls are terrible, though, for Missile Command. Oh, man. It is using a first of all, keyboard controls. But then, second of all, it's a tile-based game with Missile Command. So to move the cursor around is so clumsy. Get him. Looks like we won't get those guys. Sorry, your house is going down. Let's go back over there. No, quick. Yeah, I wouldn't fault it for the graphics, actually. I just fault it for the controls. Even playing on a VIC-20 keyboard, this still wouldn't be ideal because you notice whenever I push the key down, it slowly moves the cursor one tile at a time around the screen. Wait, can I even move? There it is, up and down. But wow, yeah, it's... Oof, that's rough. That's really rough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say because of the controls, it's bad. It'd be all right for a Missile Command clone, but no, I'm gonna say I'll go 1.5 stars. It's the controls just nixed it so bad. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, so there you go. There's Target Command, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. We're back on the Atari home computer. This is Tax Dodge. Another tax game. If you thought we were done with taxes, we are not. Let's take a look at the artwork for Tax Dodge. Here's the front of the box. This is by Freefall, by John Freeman and Ann Westfall. Way to go, John and Ann. Truly, a truly taxing maze game. A high-res scrolling game, it says. 32K needed for disc. And that's all we got. That's all we have for artwork. No manual, so we're going to have to wing it. Let's pop in and play Tax Dodge, released at some point in March 1982. Published by Island Graphics. So first we've seen them do any game on the channel. Tax Dodge, a free-fall game. Oh, I fast-forwarded through it again. Okay, I'm doing it over again. Too quick on the fast-forward key. I get angsty whenever it says load, because I don't know how long that's going to take. In 1982, load could mean 15 minutes or 5 seconds. There we go. Nice. It's a whole medley of classical music. Really cool opening. All right, and we're in. I didn't have to push anything. Didn't have to push start. I'm the white guy. Oh, and it does scroll. Whoa, so cool. Okay, this is pretty cool. This is moving around a maze that's able to scroll around the screen. Oh, you really can't see too far ahead, but we're dodging all the enemies, and we didn't get a manual. No instructions or story. I just know I need to collect everything because it's a maze game. And if I walk through inflation, I get... Was that money down or up? I wasn't watching. Let's see. If I go through inflation, does my dollars go up? No, it goes down. Okay, I need to stop going through inflation. Who knew there was another tax game? The only one I was aware of was Tax Avoiders. Is this more money? Oh, deductions. Oh, I don't know what the gold guy did. That's not good. So my goal is to make 10 grand. Let's see what happens. There's red tape there. All right, I made the goal. Can we go to, I guess, where's the center? IRS now? No, nothing happened on the IRS. Red tape. Nope, don't do that. Maybe I gotta go to the tax dodge area. If I can make my way there. Oh, great. Don't pinch me in. Yes. Go, go, go. All right, so let's make our way here. Tax dodge. Nothing happens when I do the dodge location. It's also giving me a date. Is this a safe place? No, it's not a safe place. I thought it was going to be protected. All right, so if I've made the goal, where do I go now? I even have savings and deductions. You got to admit, this is a lot more fun than Calcman. It's the red tape. Okay, red tape doesn't do anything to me. Never heard of this one. It's so funny, though. Let's see, IRS. We did it! I wonder why the goal didn't work the first time, but I make it through the second time. Oh, yes. Disc is the way to go, for sure. All right, so we're back in. A scrolling maze game is very refreshing, being able to move around a little more freely. The way you clip on the side, though, is a little... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh, no, wasting money. Because you kind of get clipped on the corner, so it's not as smooth as the other Pac-Man variants or maze variants we played. But that's just a small gripe, considering. Okay, what do we get? Deductions. Nice. Make our way to the goal. And after you get to the goal, then you move after that. Now, we didn't get a manual, so I don't know the full story and if it changes. But that's really cool that you are scrolling from a larger map. Of all the games we played to this point, this is one of the first times we've seen a maze game beyond the boundaries of a fixed screen. And so that's a big plus. So even though I'd say the controls were a little bit finicky, and it was obviously a tax-themed game, I'm going to go 4 stars, because we rarely see a larger maze game that takes place in a bigger screen than this. Something like Rally X when you're in the car would be a cue of it. But I'll say 4 stars for Tax Dodge. Surprisingly, for Tax Dodge. Yeah. All right, so let's press forward and see our next game. Yes, it's time to go to England and play the ZX81. This is 10-pin bowling. 10-pin bowling, no information, not even a screenshot. Let's pop in and play some 10-pin bowling. This is by Phipps Associates. D.P. Nowitnick programmed it for us. We're in England playing some ZX81. You want instructions? Yeah, how do we play this? Oh my gosh, lots of text. This program simulates a standard game of 10-pin bowling. The alley appears at the top of the screen. You can play 1 or 2 players. Over 10 frames, 2 balls bowled per frame. If you knock down all the pins with the first ball, you score a strike. Yeah, we got that much. Press any to continue. Knock down all 10 pins with the 2 balls, and you score a spare. This appears as a, yeah, we got the spare part. Does it say anything about the game, not about bowling? How many players? Oh, let's just go. 1 player. We're ready. To fire the ball at the pins, press a key from 1 to 9, indicating the strength. Got it. Those are the pins. Oh, yeah. There we go. This is kind of what I expect when I play a ZX81 game. How powerful do I want to go? 9. Right down the center. Is it a strike? That's to redraw. Oh, it's curving. I didn't plan for that. Go. Yes. Yes. Come on. Waiting, holding your breath for a strike. Yes! First one strike. We are 10-pin bowling champions on the ZX81. Man, all my little friends in England, they would be so impressed right now. First time strike. Well, it looks like that one is not. It didn't even get any, or is it gutter? Okay, it got 1. This game is very similar to the bowling games we played on the RCA Studio 2. I'm going to compare it to again to that one because it's one simple pixel moving against other pixels, and that was it. This is so rudimentary, it doesn't even it transcends the other games we played from the 70s because the original arcade bowling games didn't do this. It also is slow to respond, so it's a super slow bowling game. Of all the games we played up to this point, I'll give you this. If I was in England in 1982 on the ZX81, I would still play this, and I would have a great time. But we played other computer games, and we played other bowling games on computers. And so I'd say for all the games we played up to this point, this one would be around the broken range for how slow it responds. So I'm going to say 1 star for 10-pin bowling. Someone may have had fun with it, but here we're pretty spoiled. All right, that's where we put our video game playing on pause. So many more games to play in March of 1982. If you were in 1982, what would have you rated these on a scale of our 1 to 5 stars? That's it for today, and like I always say, I'll see you in the arcades. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.